but you know, even if you guys had the same stuff that I use, it really just, it wouldn't sound the same, you know, like I can use anything, but I use my head, you know what I mean? Like I manipulate sound. I like taking a basic, you know, like a sine wave, for instance, and then just like manipulating the fuck out of it. That's what it is. So like, I wouldn't be super concerned with like, what does Illmind use? Like, my shit's pretty basic. I probably have the same plugins that you guys have, and I do everything in Pro Tools. And so it's Pro Tools, plugins, I got a couple keyboards that I use, and my head, my brain. I'm not looking for beat makers. I'm actually, at this point in my career, I'm more interested in like looking for musicians. So like if you play an instrument really well, guitar, bass, fucking harmonica, flute, trumpet, trombone, violin, that's more valuable to me. Creating a relationship with the artist directly is your #1 highest chance of getting a placement with that artist. How to go about doing that, I can't tell you. You know, I mean, I kind of tell you, you know, if you listen to my podcast, if you watch my YouTube channel, we talk about that all the time. Getting to know the artist directly is your best bet. Contacting the manager isn't the end all be all. Contacting the assistant isn't the end all be all to get to someone. Sometimes it's the barber, sometimes it's, you know, the assistant, sometimes it's the best friend, sometimes it's the driver, sometimes it's, you know, the guy who's like the fashion designer, right? Like the guy who like provides all the clothing for the artist. Like whoever it is, it's the people that are surrounded by that artist most often. Those are the people you want to get to know. Have you guys heard of Ryan Leslie's technology? And basically, in a nutshell, it's like this iPhone app that allows for you to like connect with your fans. And it's the whole premise is like put your phone number out, and then you get to really interact with people directly, and you get to sort through different lists and all that. And like, so Ryan was always really big on like unlocking connectivity with other people, especially your fans, right? And so that was kind of, for me, that was like the beginning of like me really being interested in like connecting with people. And obviously I'm a Superphone user, that's why you guys are here. Being around Ryan, like he's just become a really good friend of mine, and he's just super inspiring. So I get bored with just being a producer. You know, I'm not bored, but like, yeah, like I'm not, there's this misconception that I'm like, I wake up and I'm just like in the fucking studio, like I don't eat, and I used to. Absolutely, but I have, surprisingly, like I take weekends off and I have free time during the week. Like I'm creating, most of my time is spent creating music, but doing the podcast with them and, you know, doing meet and greets and shooting content is part of my passion too. So it's all part of just like what I enjoy doing anyway, and it all just kind of works out. You know, it's like making time for it is where what my philosophy is. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of shit that drives me crazy too. Like I feel like what you just said, I feel like I need to be waking up in the morning and making beats until 5 o'clock the next morning and going to sleep, and then that almost like deters me away from doing that. And you know what I mean? Like I'll start making beats and I'm like, I'm not in the right mindset to do it right now, so I want to go do something else, but then I don't know what the fuck else to go do sometimes. So then I'm just sitting there for like hours working on one beat, and then I'm like, at the end of it, I'm like, it's all right, and then I'll make another one, and then it's like a dope one.
That's kind of like what we were talking about in
exactly.
the episode, where it's
exactly.
Like, you know, it's what were you saying? It's like you got to learn how to kind of like turn it
Clock
off.
out.
You gotta clock out.
Because it's like that tends to happen to me a lot, where it's like I feel like I always have to be on go, because
like if I'm not doing it, I'm like,
you're like, why are you not doing it?
Yeah, and I'll get like mad at myself.
And then it's like, you know, and this industry is kind of frustrating with social media, and like, you know, how you said sometimes it doesn't even have to be the work, so to speak, it's the hustle.
Yep.
You know, so you feel like you constantly have to be on go in order to make it happen, because if you're not, you feel like you're not progressing, you're not being creative, you're not doing shit. You know what I mean? And that, like you said, can drive drive you even more crazier because you're like, I'm working though, but I'm not getting an outcome I'm expecting. So it's like, you know, learning how to kind of clock out and do other things, even if it's just like take a walk in the park or like go jogging.
But you need it.
Yeah.
You need it. I think it's strategy and structure. Like, I think structure kind of helps, even though like I don't have too much structure. But in theory, I would like to think if I held myself to a certain day or a certain amount of time in this particular, you know, on this day from X time to X time, I can do this.
Right.
And then not feel like when it is later, like, dang, I didn't, oh no, I did my time. I spent my time. It's about prioritizing, because it'll drive you crazy just like staring at a computer and like,
and you know, don't get me wrong, like you got to put the work in. Like I went through 6 years of literally just making beats, like not taking time off, like not like fucking with YouTube. Like I literally 7 days a week, 365, wake up, make beats, eat, and then like go to bed, and then wake up and do it again. And that was just me punching the bag. That was me training, like putting 10,000 hours in, like learning how to learning how to swing my drums and like sound like Jay Dilla, and then like learning how to do trap music, and then like pop chord, like all that stuff. And that was important for me. So like, I don't know, don't get it twisted, like gotta put the work in, you know what I mean? Like, but I think being a music creator is a little different than everything else, because music, when we compose music, we're tapping into our emotion. And if we're not in the right emotional state, then it's hard for us to create the product. It's not like labor intensive, you know, where it's like, if you're a boxer, like I was saying earlier, and you're training, like you could train anytime as much as you can. It's physical fitness. But since we're tapping into emotion, it's important for us, like Avian said, like it's important for us to like take breaks, become inspired, you know, experience like different interactions with people, you know, and just get fulfillment that way, you know.
It doesn't even have to be anything major that you do when you like kind of clock out, you know. It could be anything, like taking a walk to a friend's house, or like, you know, just something that's like out of your norm of what you usually do to kind of, you know, take your mentality away. But it's hard, I feel like, as creatives, because again, we always feel like we have to tap
because even when I'm going on that walk, I'm thinking like, damn, I need to turn around and go back home and start working.
You got your music on walking, and those cars are turning too now.
Yeah, but listening to beats and stuff, I'm like, damn, I need to go fix this. I need to go do that.
The key
never stops.
The key is putting yourself in position where you will become inspired to create. And I'm hoping that like when you guys leave and when you go back to the crib, I'm hoping that you're like excited and ready to lay some shit down. You know what I mean? Like that's the shit right there. You know what I mean?
I think like me, what helped me was when I always wanted to separate the music from the money. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but so I went and pursued other avenues to like make money, which put me where I'm at today. So now I have like 10 years worth of music that I don't have a single rapper on my track ever.
Right.
Because I always just kept it for myself, because that was the end goal, was to make the beat and then watch it play in my iTunes, and that was success for me.
Right.
But now it's like, all right, I have this library of music, and like now I want to pursue that. You know, my dreams and goals change, but I managed to keep like at least my emotion in the music. So I just never like tried to force myself to be on Ableton, because I just want my emotion to like spill into it naturally, not like, because then it's not fun for me to like push through.
You can't make it feel like a job.
And like you're forcing an emotion versus
you can't.
out naturally.
Once this shit feels like it starts feeling like a job, then like you might as well just do something else. That's how I treat this shit. Like the shit gotta be fun.
I mean, keep it fun.
Doing it when I want to. Like I'll never sit there and force myself to compose a piece of music if I'm not feeling good about it. Like if fun for me at that moment is watching TV, well, I don't really watch TV, but like if watching episode 7, season 7, Game of Thrones, is more fun than like making a beat at that moment, I'm gonna fucking go watch Game of Thrones.
See, and
you know what I'm saying?
It's so dope to hear someone say that, because like all the things that you do to like take you out of your negative space get demonized a lot. Like
Right.
you go on Instagram and see Diddy, get off video games, get off that, and you're like, damn.
Well, he's
Right.
partially
He's
right.
partially right, but you internalize it where it's just period, get off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why being creative is it's bizarre, because it's not black and white like that. Like it's not just, all right, I put 10,000 hours in, like where are my results?
Yeah.
Like you need to make good music, but we're tapping into emotion, and so that's where it gets a little blurry, is we need to have that Zen kind of aura. I'm a big fan of fun though. I'm like a huge like, if it's not fun, then I'm not doing it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And what makes it even hard, because like for someone who's dedicated, essentially, like I'm young, but I'm not much older, but I'm older than people think. And when you dedicate 10,000 hours and you don't expect to get anywhere because that's just the grind, and then you hit roadblocks like I had a health issue last year to the point where I was like, I don't think I can actually do this anymore.
Right.
And then. But you look at guys like, rest in peace, Charles Bradley, who got into the game super late, or guys like French Montana who grind for like ever, and then finally get on, and then you think, well, damn, I'm young, I'm kind of old enough, and I put the hours in, but I'm still kind of hard on myself. So, you know what I mean? It's hard to kind of move from that space. Yeah. Kind of like, not find your niche, but find where you can be and kind of do the music and make it come out with the right emotion, like you said.
It's a challenge, but it doesn't have to be. You don't have to don't look at it like a challenge, like, it just has to fucking feel right. Like those 6 years I grinded and I just made beats all day, and like no personal life, no like dating around and like having fun, going to the club. Like when my friends were in the club, I was at the crib fucking making beats, because that was more fun to me. It was fun for me to not do anything else, to a fault, to a certain extent. I mean, I'm where I'm at now, but I put the hours in, but it's because I wanted to, like.
The saying is greater later, as they say.
Yeah, it paid off later, like, but I would never, I have no regrets. Like I would never do anything different, because it's
also like we tend to think a lot, kind of like what you were saying, it's like, I'm at this age, or, this person says this or did it that way. We're kind of always stuck on like when this person did it or how long it took them, when it's like, truthfully, the grand scheme of things, everyone has their own timing. So I just feel like as long as like you're putting in the work, like you said, I keep working, I've been doing this for years, I feel like eventually it'll happen. You just have to keep working, but also putting yourself in the positions to allow things to happen. Kind of like what we say in the sense of like the whole bedroom producer thing. Like you can grind for 10 years, but if you're just stuck in your bedroom, it's not going to work. But versus you're grinding for 10 years, but you're emailing people, you're like face to face, meeting, shaking hands, and it will happen eventually.
You gotta try different things. Just put yourself out of your comfort zone. Like try the shit. Like getting out of your comfort zone and just doing things that are uncomfortable are good for progress. Like if you keep doing the same thing over and over, 10 years go by, you're like, yo, why am I not? Well, maybe it's because you've been doing the same fucking shit for 10 years and didn't really switch it up. That's the issue, So
sometimes I struggle with that too. I feel
we all
like
do.
Everybody does. Like,
fucking up is great.
You are.
What I mean? I've fucked up so many times.
That point where you're like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I fucked up last week. I didn't make any music. I watched Game of Thrones all week. Like, that's, in my opinion, that's like kind of fucked up. But I did it, and I don't regret it.
You don't regret it, right?
But technically, I fucking slacked, right? Big time.
But you can slack.
Well, I mean, yes and no. You know what I mean? Like, because
what do you do all the work for if you can't enjoy a little bit of time? You know what I mean? To your own, and then appreciate it. I mean, that's how I look at it as well. So it's like, why am I work my ass off, everything, and why I can't like eat a nice meal?
Yeah, listen, it shouldn't feel like a job. None of this should feel like a job. If it starts feeling like a job, then you need to reevaluate. Seriously, like. It shouldn't. If it starts to feel like a job, then go get a real job. Like it. At no point in time should making music feel like you're clocking in and clocking out like it's a job. Like you should probably always want to do it. And if you're not obsessed with it, then switch something up. Maybe you're not inspired. Think about the 5 people that you're closest with. right now, and really think about if those 5 people are nurturing you and your career and you as a human, or are they detrimental to your life. And the simple solution is to cut off the people that are detrimental and nurture the ones who are positive in your life. But I would even go further to say, and this worked for me because I've always done this for the past fucking 15 years I've been grinding, is I'm always getting to know and putting myself around like-minded people. And those like-minded people just so always happen to be creative people. Whether they're mega successful or like bottom of the barrel, just starting, like, or they're like at my level, whatever it was, I didn't care. It was just, oh, you make music? Oh, we have similarities? I want to be around you, right? And that was key for me because I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a big producer that put me on. I didn't have like a huge record that put me on. It was, for me, it was like owning my shit. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna like drive to Philly. I was driving over there 3 days a week, living in my mom's basement, because like there was a community of like DJs and creators that like I knew, and I would just drive out there just to be around them. And then I'll come home to Bloomfield, New Jersey, and like no one was around me. But when I was a dolo, I was making beats, right? And so that helped me push it along, and it also helped me like gain confidence in my music and validation. So, you know, I think that's the most valuable thing you could do right now, is just put yourself around people that are like you and have, you know, similarities. It really helps. I just think the key is just being around your peers.
Right, yeah, of course.
Be around your peers,
I think
man.
if you're thinking about it too much, like, oh, I need to make sure I'm around Illmind because he's better than me. I need to make sure I'm around this guy. Like, I think it's just like you said, you're just around your peers. So it's with that, it's like second nature. You're not even thinking about that.
And it has to be comfortable too, because you don't want to be around people that are above you or below
like
you, and that also shifts your mood too. Like, oh my God, he's so successful. You know.
Right.
Yeah, right. And it's hard to, like, being a 90s kid, growing up in the 90s, and seeing how things used to go, and you just kind of have this instilled mentality, all right, cool, I got to do this way, or maybe I should do it this way, and then it kind of throws you out of your space.
Right.
Because granted, like, I was right on the cusp of where I grew up without technology, but then right when I hit high school, there was technology, so I get how it works with the content thing, but I'm also still kind of old school. And then sometimes, like I said, you know, you'll go in the studio with certain people, or you'll get to meet certain people, and you're sitting there and it's like, damn, you know, these guys are in a different league, even just from the way they're rapping. Like,
but that's an advantage, though. You gotta look at that as an advantage. I feel like, because you can play with both worlds, right? Like, you know the part of it before this and after, so you have more of an advantage where you may not be as knowledgeable as them, but you understand it and you can learn more and be a part of that conversation. You know. So
I think the two keys, and this is just from my experience, the two keys are confidence and validation. You got to have both. If you have one, that'll help. But if you have both, trust you will succeed. You need it. Straight. I know that sounds weird, but like confidence and validation are two things, and those are two things that you can build when you're around like-minded people. You know, if you're hanging around fucking like losers all day, you're not getting more confident. They're pulling you down, and they're probably telling you your shit sucks. You know, you should be around dick riders. Listen, hang out with people who fucking dick ride you. I'll tell you why. Because it'll give you, in the beginning, it'll give you a false sense of validation, and it'll remind you that, oh yeah, I am good. I'm fucking great at this. And then you put your 10,000 hours in and you're working, you're getting better, and then you'll get to the point where you're actually good. Seriously.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Like why would you want to be around someone who they keep it a buck?
Yeah.
Like, yo, you know, I think you need to change this. Like, it's okay. Like, first of all, like, who gives that person the right to dictate what you want to make? Right? So that's a lose-lose situation. So like,
and plus everybody has their own opinion.
Everyone has their own opinion. Yep. Fuck their opinion. But if you're around dick riders, right? Yo, oh my God, yo, your shit's, that energy is great. Right. Yeah. Better. Has better energy. Cool. You know, I know your shit might suck in reality, but like having that energy is the energy you need to become better.
Push too.
You need to push. Even if they don't believe it, most likely the people dick riding you are rooting for you. They're doing it because they're rooting for you.
And then
They're not.
also take the constructive criticism.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
With it,
You know, like BLAP-KITS, you know, yeah. So it's a podcast, B-Thread. But like, you need it, man. I had that shit, and it was great. I knew my shit sucked. But I had, you know, there's people around me saying, yo, Ill, you're good, man. Just keep it going. This shit is great. Great. Oh, yeah, it is, right? Cool. Cool. Let me keep going. 1 year goes by, I'm better. 2 years go by, I'm better and better.
You don't think you reach a point where you realize finally, like, they're just saying my shit's dope because, like,
Who cares?
How many people on Earth? We all got different opinions.
7 billion.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
a
what
lot.
you don't like, this whole group may like. You know what I mean? And I may lose out on you, but we came to see you.
Yep.
But guess what? I gained 10 other people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? By keep going. Like, that's just mine to chime in. Because it's like a lot of people, everybody got something to say. No matter if you're doing something, period, somebody gonna have something to say, whether it's good, bad, different. They're gonna have something to say. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta.
It's all confidence, validation, and belief, man. Because once you feel confident, you literally, once you genuinely believe that you're dope,
It's over.
that's all it takes for you to get good. You have to believe that you're good. Like,
That's a key word too, genuine, because everything has to be genuine.
Yeah.
Your passion for it, like your
Yeah,
work
like, don't psych
ethic,
yourself
even
out
your
and cheat yourself.
relationships have to be, you know,
Yeah.
genuine. Like we always say, like
you know, multiple interviews with Mike Tyson, the greatest, one of the greatest, right? Michael Jordan, one of the greatest. When these motherfuckers step in the court or in the ring, Tyson is in the ring, and in his mind, he already beat them.
Yeah.
He's like, I can beat you already. Literally, he made himself believe that he already won, and that confidence going into the ring is what took him to the top, and that you need to apply that, you know?
In order to get feedback, you gotta put yourself out there. You can't just keep everything.
Never believe that your beats are trash. Just fucking believe your shit is dope all the time. Seriously. Yo, I'm literally, I've been doing this, I've been making beats for 15 years.
Nice.
I obviously my early shit sucked, and we're gonna leave on this note because we have to go. I still make shitty music, right? But I know all my shit's fire. I programmed my brain to believe that anything I do is amazing.
See, and I need that literal consistency.
But it took years. It took me years to develop that in my brain, and it's muscle memory now. It's the same in riding a bike.
See, because I'll hear something and
It's the
I'm
same thing. When I walk into a room and I'm in a session, it doesn't matter if it's Jay-Z or fucking insert rapper here. Like, I know I'm gonna make fire when I'm in there because you're with Illmind. Like let's go. Let's do this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I carry that everywhere I go in any situation. And you need that to win. You need it. You need it. You need it. You know what I mean? So that's why a good starting point, be around people to give you validation. You need that confidence.